Hello and welcome to the first official week of the ONFL. Now I know this video it's about 2 days late, so let's just pretend like we're watching this on a Tuesday, okay? Now of course, with this being the first week of this series, let's start off on a good note with some injuries, some brutal injuries. Yeah, there weren't many, but still, you hate to see it happen. And there were no real important league transactions, so I guess we'll just skip right over to the matchups and in the actual fantasy league. Alright, yeah, I'll admit it. I talked the talk against Jacob, telling him I'd sweep his team in the very first week and that he'd cry about it. But in the end, it was just a big old tie. First tie of the league, in fact, so hip hip hooray for that, I suppose. It was tooth and nail, honestly. Field goal percentages, free throw was even pretty close at some point. But the real nail biter was steals, which honestly no one ever took a real edge in that, which resulted in a tie. In terms of my team, I really need to start keeping the turnovers down. 69, while it is a nice number, is not the amount of turnovers I want to have in any given week. As for Jacob's team, well, three-pointers were a little lackluster, but albeit not bad. Assists might need some fixing because there are a few playmakers on this team, but they haven't been playmaking at the level that they should be. Still, good week. Jacob, I'll see you in week 10 when we rematch, so we'll settle the score then, buddy, okay? Quad Squad versus Akwazy's team, it was quite an even matchup, I'd say. But I have to give the edge here to Quad Squad. I know he won by just a bit, but it's pretty impressive considering the fact that he was the last pick in the draft. I was called out for not giving him enough credit where credit was due, so I'll give him the credit here. He did a pretty good job. Although the game was pretty damn close. I mean, looking at the stats here, one steal got him the win in the steal category, and honestly, that field goal percentage was a toss-up, really. Someone could have bricked a shot on Akwazy's team, and he would have lost that category too, but same thing with free throw percentage. So, close overall, pretty good matchup. CJ McCollum on Quad Squad was pleasantly good in the first week, and on Akwazy's team, I guess you could give credit to Jaylen Brown for having a pretty good first week too. Well, this was one of the first out of two gentlemen's sweeps in the league. I'm going to start calling 7 and 2 gentlemen's sweeps because it's like turnovers is a given, but give them an extra category just because. However, in this one, Saphir got free throw and steals, so I guess, it's the first week. You wanna have your bad weeks like this in the first few weeks just to adjust things and see what's going wrong, how you can optimize your team. Honestly, I feel like Ray, while he did perform and live up to the hype, Ray's team, Saphir was dealing with a bunch of injuries. Kawhi Leonard got injured for those 2 games. Ja Morant's injured now. And I believe he's also dealing with Kelly Oubre didn't help, of course. I don't know what other injuries were there, but I'm pretty sure there was one more. Overall, just a bad week for Saphir's team, but nothing too alarming here. He can easily bounce back from this. It's just a matter of his team getting healthy. Ray, good job. Ah, yes, the matchup of legends. On the left, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, who swore up and down he was barely going to touch this thing, but now has been checking it daily, as he's told me. And on the right, the man who has literally not even logged in to Yahoo, I believe. And it was an okay matchup. Like all the matches, it was pretty close in the field goal percentile. Free throw, yeah, Imaad, you might want to check that free throw out. Three-pointers was close. But overall, it was an okay matchup, I'd say. For a guy who hasn't even checked the game once yet, Brian did surprisingly well, I would say. I mean, he's got Kevin Love, Draymond Green in there, and yet he's still doing just fine. Imaad must have been surprised with Chris Middleton. Absolutely, he just balled out. This man did not miss a free throw that week, and he was shooting like crazy percentages. On Brian's side, I guess, well, he should be honestly thankful that despite the fact that half his active team, is injured, he still managed to get 3 categories. So I guess good on him for somehow pulling that off. The man is literally running out here with half a roster and he's still managing to put up decent numbers. All right, second gentleman's sweep. This one was, I'd say, expected. I mean, like, when a guy like Ryan, Ray's father, says he's getting first place in the league, he isn't going to throw the first week. He's going in. All right. And I firmly believe that Jay did not stand a chance, unfortunately. That man's wrath, it is truly, truly frightening. Again, same thing. Field goal percentage was close, but other than that, it wasn't even close in most categories. So, I mean, just a clear, complete dominant performance by Ray's father, aka Ryan. Donovan Mitchell had a surprisingly bad performance in first week, but that was sort of voided by Lauri Markkanen and his pretty decent performance. He got injured, of course, but hopefully it's nothing too major. It doesn't seem like he's going to be out for a lot of time. On Jay's side, well, Harden actually played. That's the crazy part, I think. Harden actually played a game. I thought this man was going to sit out with injury or something, but he played. But that's all I got to say for this one. Going into week 2 here, the featured matchup I'd say have to be Rays Baes and Brampton Bastrds. Two teams battling it out, trying to maintain their sort of superiority, trying to maintain their early lead. Two top three teams going at it. And I think this is gonna be a nice little matchup here. Now, of course, with it being the first week, there were some transactions, some players were dropped. There was even a trade, surprisingly enough, between Quad Squad, who received Serge Ibaka, and Brampton Bastrds, who got Michael Porter Jr. Honestly, this is like the model trade. If you look at both of the team needs, like you could see why this trade happened. It helped both teams improve in some areas that they were lacking, and maintain their leads in others. Now to end this off, I'm going to take it to the interviews. I caught up with some of the managers got their thoughts on how the season was going so far, what they were planning to do with their teams. But before I do that, I'd just like to talk to you about an epidemic, if you will, that is happening currently in the basketball world that is affecting basketball globally. Brickaholism is no joke, okay? You may laugh and think, what the hell is he talking about? Did he just take the word brick and alcoholism and combine them into one word? Yes, I did. But no, this is not a joke, okay? This is not some sort of funny thing. This is a serious thing. Exhibit A, Kelly Oubre Jr., shooting an abysmal percentage in that first week. It just, my goodness, in 3 games, he shot 7 of 40 from the field and 0 of 17 from 3. This man did not make a single three-pointer on, of all teams, the Warriors, that's just a concept to me. Kelly, while you may have been 0 of 17 from 3, in my eyes, you are still a 10 out of 10. No, but seriously, look at this man. Just look at this man. Look at this man. Do you want to be a Warriors fan now? Because I sure do. I sure as shit do. And now to the interviews. So, Saphir, it was a tough week, man. But hey, it's only the first week. I mean, you want to make all the mistakes, all the minor, have all the minor injuries first week. I guess what are you trying to do now to improve your team and bounce back from this 2-7 loss?
Bro, a lot of my players got injured, including three of my best players actually. So I'm gonna just pray that they don't get injured again.
Oh
And
yeah,
also, some of my players starting off the season, they kind of did shit.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
well, it's the beginning of the season. A lot of players, like a lot of all-star players, are doing bad too, right?
Mhm.
So I hope they can like get this shit together
Yeah, I saw you
and
had to
come.
drop. Sorry, I saw you had to drop Porzingis, and you have Kelly Oubre on your team, who let's just say didn't have the best game or the best week. Sorry. What are your thoughts on on that performance that week? I mean, no 0 of 17 I believe was, or 0 of 14 from 3. Only
Yeah, bro,
attempts, like field goal attempts he made was dunk attempts. What do you got to say about that?
man shot like 17%. I guess he's kind of in a new team, so that's kind of uh, it kind of makes sense. He's still gotta get used to the whole warrior system.
Oh yeah.
So I hope he can find his way and get a little bit better. Get back to the 20-point scorer that he was.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
If not, at least the second scorer.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's fair. I say that's fair. He's in a new system. You got to he's got to catch a break. I mean, like it's only the first week too. He's got plenty of time to recuperate. So you're against Akwazy right now. I know the matchup's going on currently as we're speaking, but like let's just say it hasn't happened yet. Or it's just starting now. What do you have any words you'd like to say to your opponent?
Good luck. I wish him the best of luck. I don't really have anything to say to him. It's just now it's kind of like a fair matchup rather than last time because the last guy had way too crazy
Oh yeah,
players,
that
But,
yeah.
I
Ryan,
believe,
Ray's
uh,
father. That man is crazy, man.
yeah,
He might he said he
but
was gonna get first. He might live up to that.
Yeah, you never know. He actually might. I think he's second right now. So that was kind
Mm-hmm.
of a tough matchup.
Yeah.
But yo, I just gotta get my shit together and
Yeah,
do a little
absolutely.
bit better.
It's only first week, so you got plenty of time to do that. And I mean, you have a bunch of your players got injured, so it's not even your fault. It's just like they all just coincidence. But anyways, thanks for your time, man. Take it easy. Good
Yeah.
luck. I'm up against you week 3. So until then, my
Oh,
friend.
for real?
Yeah, yeah,
My friend, good luck. I wish you the
yeah. You
best of
too.
luck.
All right,
I hope our team match up at the best of their peak, and yeah, we can have a nice matchup, bro.
all right. Yeah. See you
Alright,
then.
bro, take care.
Take care. Okay. Hello. Today I am speaking with a gay rights activist. So, sir, why are you gay?
I just believe that I think everyone's cool.
Well, you don't gotta.
I think
You don't gotta. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. All right. But are you a gay rights activist? Because if I mean,
an
that's a
activist. No,
okay.
activists do a lot of action. I don't
So
do that.
you're a man of inaction. Well, you did have a lot of action this first week. Good game on the win there, 6-3. I'm gonna be honest. Brian probably hasn't even checked the league yet, but still, what are your thoughts on that first week matchup? How are you feeling?
Honestly, I'm not that surprised because I knew that there are fatal flaws in the standing system and how people think that this is supposed to work.
Oh.
Because the go-to for fantasy managers for the first time is going to be like, oh, I'm going to pick a bunch of players that I know of. Like you could even pick someone like LeBron James. And to be honest, he's not the greatest fantasy player because he doesn't put up street stats. Like he's just LeBron. Like he wins games.
That's true.
Um, so I wasn't that surprised. I'm a little bit disappointed I couldn't get 7 to like put me on the first, but I am happy with the second place, or I guess third.
All right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. LeBron is pretty good, but I mean, you do have a fair point about him not being a fantasy like a stat stuffer.
Yeah.
So oh, I see you've got John. Oh, actually, let me ask you about the rookie James Wiseman. He's been playing pretty well, honestly. Are you surprised by his play, especially since the Warriors have been sort of mulling in like they're 1-2 right now, and they haven't had many good
Yeah,
shooting nights.
yeah.
You're surprised by that?
Uh, he had his first 2 games were amazing. The game that he had against the Bulls was a little bit lackluster, but that's okay. I think I was told because I wasn't fully familiar with the new rookies. I was told that someone like James Wiseman is supposed to be the next Carl Anthony Towns kind of guy, and yeah, and he didn't disappoint, and I'm really happy about that.
Well, I am happy that the Bulls' interior defense actually held them down. They still lost and are 0-3, so I'm really disappointed. I shouldn't be calling myself a Bulls fan right now because at the end of the day, I just watch them and sigh in disappointment. But now let's move on. So in UFC style, right, where it's basically the announcer says, "Hey, you want to call out your next matchup?" I'm gonna ask you. You're up against Ray. This is gonna be like a featured matchup. Ray's Baes. He's second seed, you're third seed. This is a pretty high profile matchup. What are you thinking? What do you got to say to him?
I'm just checking my matchup now, and it seems that the amount of games played that we're both about to play. See, here's the thing. I think Ray definitely has an advantage in terms of games played. And the thing is, he has players, like, none of his players are on the same team, which is a pretty good advantage. But um, John Wall's back this Thursday, I believe, or
Oh
this
yeah.
Friday. And he hasn't even played for me yet. I've made a couple of trades, for like pushing for that stats. I did an entire analysis on what categories I could beat Ray on and which ones I need to work on. And I dropped a few players, moved around some of the team. I've gotten people like Darius Garland, people like Michael Porter Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once John Wall is back, him and Russell Westbrook and Chris Middleton and Antetokounmpo on my team, I don't think Ray has much of a chance.
All right. So you've been preparing for this day. You've been preparing your whole life has amounted to this moment right here.
Okay, maybe not my whole life, but a solid 2 hours on a Sunday.
That's fair. All right. Well, thank you for your time. I gotta cut it short here because I gotta fit in the video. Yeah. Take it easy.
All right. Yep. Thank you.
And yeah, that's it for the first week. I know it was probably again a little late. I'll try and fix that up in the future, but I'm just working out some things. Working out an alcohol addiction, as usual. Remember, I ain't got no catchphrase, and I'll see you in the next week.